After you have found a new nesting site, you'll want to add it to your profile. Before creating a new site, you should always check to see if your site already exists in the Florida Shorebird database. To do that, you'll need to log in and scroll down to your My Data page to your My Sites box. Here you'll see a button entitled Add Existing Sites to My Data for both your solitary and colonial sites. Let's start by looking at the solitary sites. When you're searching for existing sites in the database, you have two search options. The first is to search by site attribute, and the second is to search by location. For site attribute, there are 4 different fields that you can choose to search from. The first is region. These are keyed off the FWC region and are a collection of counties. Nests that fall within the counties in that region would be returned. You also can search more specifically by a certain county if you know what county you're in. For solitary nests and colonial nests, you can search by species. Lastly, you can search by user. Sites that have been added to the selected user's profile will be displayed in the results. The other option to search by is location. Here you can enter a location and a radius that you would like to search around. Let's start by looking at the site attribute. Let's say that we want to find sites in the northwest region that are snowy plover nests. After we have selected those from the drop-downs, we simply hit the search button. From there, you'll see a couple things happen. First, a data grid has been populated with the search results from your criteria. These nests are also displayed on the map. You will also note that similar to other pages, you're able to see your sites and your routes that meet the search criteria that you've specified. Let's take a look at the data grid. The first thing you'll note is there are checkboxes on the left-hand side for each one of the items in the data grid. The checkboxes are used to select sites that you would like to add to your profile. If you select the top checkbox, it will select every site in the data grid. You can unselect these by deselecting this box. Beside them, you'll see an icon, in this case a yellow S. This denotes the icon that is displayed on the map. If you click on the icon, it will zoom you to the location of the site. You'll notice that since I checked the box, the icon has changed from just a yellow icon to an icon that is outlined in red. If I deselect the box, it will change back to the regular icon. The icon highlighted in red denotes an icon that you have selected. If you come over to the map, you'll also notice that you can click on an icon to get more information about that site. You'll see data fields such as the site name, species, who created the site, when it was last visited, what the last status of the site was when it was last visited, and also the description of the site. Also inside of the info window, you have the options to zoom to the site or also to select or unselect the site depending on what its status is. Once you have found the sites that you would like to add to your profile, you simply select them in the data grid and then hit the button titled Add to My Sites. These sites will then be added to your profile. You'll see that the data grid updates and removes the sites that you had selected, and your map is also updated and now shows those sites as members of your My Data. Once you've added the sites that you wanted to add, you can return to your data. You'll see both on your map and in the data grid that the sites that you recently selected have been added to your profile. Let's also take a look at the colonial Add Existing Sites option. The options for Add Existing Colonial Sites are very similar to those for solitary sites. Again, for site attributes, you can search by region, county, species, and user. You can also search by location. Let's demonstrate this option. Let's say we want to search around Port St. Joe within 20 miles. You'll see again that we have our search results returned, this time 3 nests. Again, we can interact with the map. We can click to zoom to see which site it is. Oh, we'll see that we have a couple solitary sites near these colonial sites. We can select them. Again, they'll be outlined in red. And once we have found which sites we'd like to add, we simply select Add to My Sites. Once you've added what you'd like, you return to your data. and you'll see again that the sites have been added to your map and your data grid. It is important to remember to use the Add Existing Site option before using the Create New Site option to avoid creating duplicate sites in the Florida Shorebird database.